Hi everybody, happy Freaky Friday and welcome to Shivers. Today we're going to be reviewing the movie Megan. So Megan just came out a few weeks ago. It is the first official horror movie of 2023 and I had the opportunity to go see it this past Tuesday with my group from Shivers. So going into it, I did have really low expectations, but pleasantly surprised in the end. So to give a little bit of a rundown on the story, Megan stands for some sort of robotic technical term, but Megan for short. So she is this artificial intelligent robot built by a woman named Gemma, who has to take in her niece after her sister and her sister's husband died in a car crash. So she's now the caretaker of her niece, and she is a traditional roboticist by day, by trade. So she builds robots all day long, and she has been building Megan as the next step for her company's growth and expansion. So once she has to take in her niece, she is building Megan to be a little bit more specific to her niece and her niece's needs. So Megan is really designed to pair with a child, be their best friend, be their advocate, be their protector, and make sure that they're pretty much happy at all times, while also being a great ally to parents by reinforcing bad habit reminders like flush the toilet and wash your hands and brush your teeth before you go to bed, things of that nature. So after Megan starts learning more about Gemma's niece, the two of them get closer and closer, and Gemma's niece is very much attached to Megan, seeing this as more of an actual person than a robot, and as her first real friend after her parents pass away. And so it's a really interesting dynamic between the niece and Megan by seeing like how much people in general are totally attacked and attracted to their phones and to the internet and to all of that by just, if someone tries to take your phone away from you, just snap. So seeing this come from a child's perspective, I thought was very smart in this movie. So as Megan learns more about the niece and more about life in general, she pretty much goes above and beyond to protect the niece and starts killing people. She kills a kid who kind of bullies the niece, and she goes off the rails. So as Gemma, the designer, is putting more structure into Megan and her code, Megan is just so smart as an artificial intelligent robot that she's just basically learning on her own, and she's able to override Gemma's commands, and she just goes rogue. She starts killing people, she starts losing her mind, all with the background intention of protecting the niece. So what I thought was going to be a movie that was a little bit of a ripoff of Chucky, being like this reanimated doll that's your child's best friend gone rogue, it's totally different. It really plays at all of the ideas behind the fears of Alexa and Google and people watching you through your phones and getting advertisements on your phones when you're just thinking about something. All of those realistic modern fears that we have are played through very smartly in this movie. So getting on to the actual rating itself. So on the Shiver scale, for the story itself, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was very creative. I thought it was very well written, well played out. For originality, I would give it 5 out of 5. I have never really seen a movie done like this that is very tasteful and very rooted in reality. When it comes to robots, it's either when you watch a robot movie, it's totally pushed to the future, or it's just very much like, oh, that will never happen. And this one I felt like was we could see it happening. We could see the trends. We could see the push from the corporate side of things wanting more. And so for originality, I definitely give it a 5 out of 5. For the acting itself, I would give it a 3 out of 5. I thought that there were some points that were pretty silly. Megan herself is played both by an actual robot and by a little girl. And I thought that when she was walking around, you could really tell when it was a little girl versus when it was a robot. So I think it's really smart of them to put both in the movie, but blending that a little bit better would have been, I think, better overall. For the production itself, I would give it a 5 out of 5. This is produced by Blumhouse. It's a big movie. It's done very professionally. you watch it and you feel like you're in a movie that paid a lot of money to make this movie. So it was nice. And for the scares, for this being considered a horror movie, I would give the scares a 2 out of 5. There really wasn't anything blatantly scary about it. There were no jump scares. There was nothing outside of the big picture idea that was scary. The big picture idea being the fears of these modern technologies kind of coming to life and learning on their own and going rogue. So for scares, I would give it a 2 out of 5. If you're looking for something that is a good watch for your family, for a group of teenagers to watch, this is definitely going to be it. I think anybody who's between the ages of maybe 10 and 15 would really enjoy it and not be scared. So it's really a movie for everybody, I think. So adding those all up and getting the average, we get a 3.8 out of 5. In general, I was very pleasantly surprised by this movie. Like I said, honestly went into it with expectations of really not liking it. I didn't have any goals of actually going to see it truly, but I came out feeling very fulfilled. I would really compare it to eating a good burger. It's not a meal that's so amazing that's going to stick with you forever and ever, but you feel satisfied, you feel full, and you feel good. So overall, I would recommend this movie. I think it's good for all audiences. So that is the review for this first Freaky Friday of the year. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the movie and enjoy your weekend.